slow mode.
This thing's in slow mode.
Wait for it. There we go.
All right, so hello everyone. It's Danny and Wanda. Oh, we had an orange look.
Oh, wow.
It's always. Oh, wait, I gotta still do something else.
Right here.
Ba-la-da-da-da.
Come on now, let's move. Let's go.
You can talk.
I can't see nothing. You got everything. Oh, okay.
Da-da-da-da-da. We're just, y'all wouldn't believe. I don't even know if we've had what we've been doing this week. Hello, everybody.
Hello, Danny and Wanda from Deep South Homestead. Of course, you would know that or you wouldn't be here, I guess.
Well, some people pop in and they don't know who we are.
Yeah.
I doubt it, but I mean, okay, but some people might not know who we are.
Yeah.
So it's been kind of crazy this week. We've had a lot going on, but yet it just hadn't slowed down. Monday was a holiday. It was Memorial Day.
I hate holidays. I can't help it because they screw up everything.
It shortens the week.
Yeah.
And so
Plus it put our well guy off from getting in. I mean, it messed up everything.
Every time we do anything, it's always there's a holiday in there, and it throws everything on down. But we got the well over at Pecan Grove. It's done. And Maggie, my daughter Maggie and her kids were here, and Jesse, my son, and his wife Patty were here Monday and picked blueberries.
Yep.
Danny and I have been picking blueberries. And then day before yesterday, I don't know what day. Anyway, maybe Thursday, we had a Miss Marianne, which is a lady that lives next door. She came and picked a few blueberries, and then Barrett and Kelly and then Bryce and Blaine came and picked some. And y'all, they steal blueberries.
They steal blueberries.
And Danny and I went out.
Our freezer's full.
We picked at they picked Thursday morning. We went and picked again Friday night. We picked anyway yesterday sometime, and we got a lot.
Yeah.
We still got a lot.
Still everywhere. Blueberries everywhere. And then, not on top of that, Bama J came. Did I get that right?
No.
No, it's not Bama J. It's
Hold on. Bama.
Bama. Okay.
Is that it?
Yeah.
No, Bama grits.
Bama grits?
I don't
There's
know.
so many of them. I mean,
y'all got Bama everything.
There's everything Bama.
Anyway, Miss Bonnie.
Miss Bonnie came with Walter.
Yeah.
And they
visited for a while.
And picked up a big old sink that we had with the big washboards on each side.
That we had found in a junk pile that we didn't know we had.
Yep. And we wanted to, they come and got that, plus a bunch of windows to build them a greenhouse with and everything that we had from Pecan Grove. And I was glad we was able to bless them with some stuff. Has anybody else been?
It seems like somebody's been
the county came to Pecan Grove and looked at our electroculture because the county came out.
Well, it was one of the
master gardeners from the county extension service came out.
A lady came out,
to look at the electroculture and look at the Danny corn. She had never seen corn like that in her life. She had, but it's been way up north. She said they saw corn like that up north, but never anything down south like that. She was amazed by the electroculture, and funny thing was, her husband was an elderly gentleman. And he said, well, I'm from New York. He said, we used to do that when I was a kid. Our families did back when I was a kid back in New York. He remembered it.
And she's like, why didn't you tell me?
Yeah.
So she was amazed at all that we had going on at Pecan Grove and what it looked like. And they were out. The well guy came, so we got the well.
Got the well put in.
The septic guy because I got to have a place to go to the bathroom over there, y'all just saying.
Yep.
So the septic guy came. We'll have a septic tank maybe sometime next week.
Sometime this coming week. Maybe we'll have our septic tank in. Well, we still don't have a bathroom, but we got a septic tank at least. We might could put an outhouse over the pipe, or whatever, but we'll have it.
So we've been it's been people all week long.
All week long.
So, kind of just one of those things where, some weeks it's just kind of. So you want to talk a little bit about our electroculture too?
Yeah, we actually have a video coming out Monday.
It's 2 different days of last week.
Yeah.
Where we show what was going on one day, and then I flip and show 2 days later.
Yes.
Our updating.
Our results have been amazing. Now, let me say this. When you do electroculture, if you get Mickey's antennas, or whether you make your own or whatever you do, there's rules. Now, a lot of people don't understand. They think you can just go out there and stick it in the ground somewhere.
And it covers
a, you know, like we say that Mickey's coils cover a 3-foot radius. You can't just stick them anywhere 3 feet from a plant. There's rules. Your rows need to be north and south for best results. You need to have it on the south side of your plant, 2 to 4 inches from the plant base. There's just, and it doesn't matter how much electroculture you use, if you don't have the pH right, if you don't have fertilization there, I don't care what these people say on there about chi and all this other stupid stuff.
Or they say there's no, we've seen them where they say no fertilization.
Right.
And what was the
now,
other?
I will say this.
No bug control.
The no pests.
We do have to pay attention.
Matter of fact, we've got tomato worms off our tomatoes, and we use electroculture. But I mean, now China, we just looked at some new information from China. They do use a lot of electroculture over there. They have about a 70% increase in crops, and about a 30% decrease in fertilization. But now they do use fertilizer. So
and what they do, they run their coils through, isn't it like greenhouses?
Yeah, they got greenhouses.
And they run them up above the plants and through there, but they're putting a current through theirs that emits the electricity, I guess.
Yeah.
And so one thing that we haven't talked about yet, but we will in a future video, I guess, is where we planted the Danny corn and where we put our garden and stuff. We put this nylon fencing all the way around it. It's a deer fencing.
8 foot high nylon fencing all the way around
to keep critters out. And the only critter we've had so far has been a snake.
Yeah.
And he got caught in the wire, and Danny got rid of him. But we have a power line running just before you get to it, and you can see it in some of our videos that runs right through there. They had a power line through there. What, 50 years?
Yeah, it's been there for a long time.
That power line is right there. So Danny and I would like to check and see if that nylon fence is collecting, what would be the word? Collecting
maybe
currents or something?
Your magnetic currents, whether or not it's actually absorbing any of the magnetic or static electricity in the air. Probably more about static electricity. Because of nylon.
Yeah, when you put on a dress and a slip and stuff like that, and they all stick together. Well, you're kind of trying to harness that type of stuff, I think.
But anyway, we've got some videos coming out on that. Our results been amazing. We have picked so many cucumbers. We picked so many peppers.
The round zucchini.
The round zucchinis. Oh my word! I mean, we got a whole counter full of them in there.
There's some in the fridge too. I've been giving them to people.
Freeze drying.
I freeze dried some. I shredded them up and made like for spaghetti. The cocazelles really hadn't kicked in yet. We've had maybe 6 or 8 so far because we only planted a couple of plants. But Danny has a whole. How long is that row?
I got a 60-foot row of them over here, and I don't even know how many plants there are, but there's a pile of them. They're going to be more of what we need if they make.
Anybody in Stone County might want one of them things before it's over with.
Well, let's just pray. It hasn't rained here it was 14 days. We had no rain and 100-something degree heat index every day, and then we got
2 days ago.
2 days ago, we got a 1/4 inch of rain. And then here we are back yesterday and today, way over 100 degree heat index every day. Literally bakes you if you're out in it. And it's done sucked up all the moisturized ground that we got. But anyway, I mean, in spite of all that, with the new well we put down, we went 60 foot. Somebody asked how deep did we have to go. We went 60 foot with a 4-inch submersible, pumping water like crazy. We turned it on, let it run for 24 hours. We turned that water into the Danny cornfield and just let it run and flooded the whole field because it had been no rain for 14 days. And we got ears of corn this big around already, and what'd you say, 20 inches,
from the stalk.
From the tip of my finger down to right here. Now I know that sounds stupid, but that's
He shows it in the video.
I show in the video.
But now this is, hold it up. This is the ear, and this is the part that's going where the stalk is. Because for whatever reason, it's going long.
It's long. I ain't never seen my corn do that.
I've never seen it do like that.
Never seen it.
Usually it's about this much, and then the corn is there. But this sometimes is this far, and then the corn's going. So I don't know what it's doing. I've seen So and Clarksdale and somebody from Perkinston. All these people are in Mississippi that I'm seeing.
I know y'all are. Is any of you? I mean, y'all are having any kind of success with your Electroculture? I mean, ours
I see somebody ordered some, and I saw somebody else say theirs was doing really good. It's going pretty fast.
I mean, our success has been phenomenal. Now, we do fertilize. I mean, it's not like we don't fertilize, because we do. And we do show plants that don't have the Electroculture close to where the ones we do have it, and we fertilize everything's the same. Nothing, I mean, when we go through there, we fertilize it all. And we show the difference in the plants and stuff like that. And we do show, what kind of problems we're having with our plants. I mean, we're not trying to be biased in any way about it. A
lot of people are saying they are really, really hot and dry.
Everybody's saying their garden, like Dustin said, his is like a dust bowl.
Yeah, I saw AA said theirs was too. Said it was just no rain. And so one of the things that Danny, I think, said early on in this year was there'd be a lot of rain and then no rain.
Yeah, I told y'all.
And we got for a while we were getting rain like in the springtime when we needed it. We were getting a rain every 2 to 3 days. Nice rains. It stayed cool. At least once a week we got a rain. Mornings were cool. Days might get kind of warm, but like you said, 10 days ago, 12, 15 days ago, I guess now, it's been about 15.
Yeah.
About 15 or 16 days ago, it stopped raining, and we did not get any rain. And it doesn't, in our sandy soil, it doesn't take long for us to go from nice conditions to drought conditions, because everything drains and soaks down into ours like crazy. Because
I mean, if you're using your Electroculture rods and copper and stuff like that, you got to fertilize it. If you are not getting any fertilizer and no water to it, I'm not talking about organic fertilizer. I'm talking about real fertilizer, something that organic fertilizer, you only get about 8% up front, so you're not getting hardly anything out of it. That should have been put in the soil back in the fall if you want to use it now. If you're
Eagle Lover said everything in his is blooming like crazy. It's bell peppers. See, that we noticed an increase, and we'll show it in the video Monday. But we definitely, you can see an increase. Our spaghetti squash are dying back, so you can see where the Electroculture was and where it wasn't, and you'll be able to see a difference in that.
Mr. Donnie Nim says, Danny, do y'all close your high tunnels at night? Yes, we close our high tunnels every night to keep out the moss, because that's where you get your insects from in your high tunnels at night from your moss. And make sure this is one thing most gardeners, the biggest mistake I've seen that most gardeners make is that they have a light on around their garden somewhere. Never, never, never put lights on around your garden anywhere, because lights draw in moths at night, and those moths lay eggs, and that's where insects come from. Our gardens, we keep everything pitch black. We don't want a light on nowhere, because if you put lights, you're going to have insects.
Okay, I saw Lori Botch. I think her Electroculture's kicking it.
I'm trying to read them off little by little here.
Now, I got a lot of white flies in my high tunnel, and I tried using the neem, but I got smart and bought the neem plus because it had an extra ingredient in it, and I figured it might need it because white flies are really bad. And I sprayed my cucumbers, which were doing amazing. They're dead and gone now, so it didn't kill the white flies, it killed my plants. They couldn't breathe. Because I sprayed the bottom half of the leaves to try and kill those things. And then it killed the tomatoes that the tomatoes were doing really great. They were starting to put on new runners, and I was going to take runners off and plant them in the ground. And I sprayed, just spritzed over and under to try and kill the white flies, killed all the tomatoes. So I took and downed my high tunnel. I've got it down to very little in there right now, and gonna redo the soil, try to get rid of some white flies, and I had root nematodes too where the cucumbers were. So Danny's got to help me get rid of root nematodes in my high tunnel. So you get these things. So
okay, I don't know how to pronounce this. Mishia, Mashia.
Where?
Mayux, Mayo. I'm getting attacked by squash borers like crazy. Get you some fish emulsion, mix it pretty heavy, and spray it around the plants and on the plants, down around the base of them in there, or either Dr. Earth's Golden Bloom. I always get them confused. Golden Bloom, and it smells horrible. And spray that around the bottom of your plants, or soak them in with a watering can mixed up pretty heavy. And we have had fantastic success with ours, not having any squash borers.
Yes, I have a whole 5 gallons of Golden Bloom coming Monday. They had last weekend. They had I guess for Memorial Day or something. They had a 4 or 5 day free shipping if you spend over $100. So I ordered the 5 gallons of Golden Bloom. The last 5 gallons we got was over 4 years ago, and we're down to the nitty gritty, the last little bit. And so I ordered another one, and I got several people sent me messages that they ordered some, maybe not the 5 gallon one, but a lot of people ordered over the weekend, last weekend.
Hills Mill said, Mr. Danny, I found out this week they are paid subscribers to bash Electroculture videos. Of course, we know that. Yeah, Mickey, or Kathy, whichever one it is, we know that for sure.
There's also YouTubers bashing other YouTubers.
There's YouTubers bashing other YouTubers and stuff like this, and it's.
I don't care if they use it or not.
I don't care if they use it or not. I'm with Wanda. I mean, because we're seeing our results is like crazy.
Yeah. If it wasn't side by side or something, we probably wouldn't notice a difference because we wouldn't know, you know. But the spaghetti squash and the zucchini alone and the cucumbers have, well, even the tomatoes, we've seen the side by side differences in it. So it's really amazing. Did you find what you're looking for? Not yet? Okay.
No.
All right. So.
How is our worm compost doing? Our worm compost is doing great. It's in the bottom of every one of our containers. We have worms in our containers.
But I think they're talking about your worms that we started over in the...
I don't take my compost out over there except maybe twice a year.
Yeah,
and I haven't, it's not ready. Where did you get your Golden Bloom, please? From Dr. Earth Swisher family.
DrEarth.com.
How do we use okra to lower blood sugar? Any special variety or plant? That is Gail. Okay, hang on here. Let me stop this thing. Gail, you want to put about 4 or 5 short pods, about 2.5, 3 inches long, in a pint jar, fill it with water, set it in the refrigerator overnight, and the next morning you want to just drink on that water throughout the morning time, and just monitor your blood sugar and see if it helps to stabilize it. Matter of fact, we have an elderly gentleman right now that's actually, we're giving him some okra to do that with because he has to take blood sugar medicine.
All right, so what were you?
Can
you grow onions from seeds now in Zone 8B?
No, it's not. It is not advised to do it now. You probably want to do it in September, mid-September, so that you have them ready to put in the ground. In Zone 8, probably about mid-November.
Oh,
no.
What?
Lori Greer says, help, storm just blew through, corn on the ground. Will the sun bring it back up?
I would let it
I would let the sun try to bring it back up, because if you try to stand it up, a lot of times you break the roots on it and it don't ever do good.
We tried that one year, and everything we tried to stand back up and pack back up and prop back up didn't make hardly anything. The ones that fell on the ground, the sun pulled them back. Even if they turn and curved. We've got some at Pecan Grove that are curved. They do better if you leave them alone and let nature handle it.
Florida gets lightning daily. Plants grow overnight. Is that God's electroculture?
Yes.
Well, it's called static electricity and nitrogen fixation in the air through the static electricity. So I guess you could call it God's way of fertilizing everything. It's not necessarily electroculture.
I like Jill's thing. Growing food is so hard with all the individual needs, but I'm addicted to the challenge. I can't stop. Every plant, every vegetable that you plant has different needs, and that's what she's getting at. And every ground has different needs. So, you know, and each person has different things, because some people are morning people, some are not. So you got a lot to go with there.
Budonk says, on your last video you had green sunglasses. Do they work well? Why green? It's not that they were green. These are polarized sunglasses. I'm able to see things with my naked eye that you normally wouldn't get to see, like fish underwater and stuff like that. That's why I use them.
Sheila said, a testimony on the McCaskill corn grits. I ate some and had no sugar rush. It was awesome. Yes.
Yes.
Gosmania, hello. Moringa tea is great for high cholesterol and blood sugar. 1 cup of tea twice a day.
Yep.
We are growing some moringa. I think ours is going to do.
Yeah.
Jen in Bama says, results here speak for itself. I'll keep using Electroculture. Good.
Okay, when will you plant your second round of potatoes, Georgia Gal says. Oh, that won't be till fall.
I have some in the high tunnel.
Yeah, but they're not.
Just what I'm trying to do in the high tunnel, we did it last year. They're fingerlings. When we pull up, the little ones stay in the ground. Then when they come up, I'll pull them up, put some back in the ground just to have seed. All I'm doing is trying to raise my own seed for next year like we did this past year. Do you suggest watering
with an impulse sprinkler in the morning or evening? I would do it late afternoon, because plants mainly grow at night, and if you sprinkle them in the morning, the sun's just going to evaporate it.
Prep for Eternity said last year their corn blew over and the sun pulled them up perfectly.
Yeah. Okay. Nancy says, what do you do for blight on green bean plants? Well, we don't really have a lot of blight on our green bean plants, but when we see it starting, we just pull the leaves off and get rid of them.
Arthur, an illustrator, was saying they had 7 weeks ago broke left arm, but now their therapy is gardening. Doctor approved. It does help. Do you like John Deere tractors?
I don't mind it. I don't have a John Deere tractor. They've always been so expensive around here where we're at, and to try to get one worked on around here and get it back to you is almost impossible. That's why we didn't go with them.
All right, so what vegetables can grow in a shaded area that doesn't get much sun next to a house?
Well, it really depends on what part of the country you live in. That's hard to say on a vegetable.
Most of them need some sun.
Most of them need some sun.
If you're getting some...
Cucumbers would probably be the one I would say would probably do the best.
Some tomato varieties.
And maybe some tomatoes.
Some peppers. Peppers like hot, but they don't like extreme sun on them all the time.
Yeah.
So you could try that. Where was I at?
Emerald Water Life Homestead says, I'm snapping Cherokee yellow wax beans now. We did that, was today, was it?
Yesterday.
Yesterday, okay.
I just canned some today.
Yeah.
I had to put them in the fridge because we had some stuff to do yesterday. Does soap work on aphids and also lemon juice?
I don't know. Soapy water works for aphids. I know that.
But you can't get much of it.
But you can't put much of it on there or you'll kill your plant.
Because we done been there and done that too.
My okra plants are stunted. Can I blame it on the cool nights? Well, you probably can blame some of it on the cool nights because okra don't like cold, I can tell you.
All right, now Beth is asked, and her beds, her garden beds run east to west, will Electroculture still work?
Yes, just make sure you put your rod, or whatever you're using, your coils or whatever, on the south side of the plant, 2 to 4 inches from it.
What are your thoughts on milk goats? Well, we had some.
I had tons of milk goats. I used to milk them every day and every night, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
And when we got together, we got some goats for what? Nearly 3 years.
About 3 years we had.
And we had babies, but by the time they had babies, we were in a building project.
Yeah.
And it wasn't beneficial for us to try and milk goats, and they liked a lot of attention, and we didn't have time for it. So we just decided, goats ain't our thing.
Well, goats just require a lot of attention. Now, the milk is naturally homogenized, and it is awesome.
So you got to have time with goats.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time.
What about building a dug-in geothermal greenhouse?
Well, if you've got the means to dig it into the ground and make it work, they're great. But it takes, you got to understand, if it rains, they can flood. I mean, there's lots of things that you have to take into consideration when you do it. The expense is number one.
Okay. Robert Mitchell said, I smoked bacon in the new Epic Smokehouse this week, and it turned out perfect. Now everyone asks me where I got the idea to build the smokehouse, so I tell them Deep South.
All right, Robert. I'm glad. Awesome.
We've had a lot of people copy or improve on.
We've had a lot of people improve on it.
On Danny's greenhouse, and so we think it's amazing because people are actually getting back to smoking some stuff, and the bacon is just phenomenal. We're going to be out before long.
I know, we're going to be out of bacon.
We're going to be sad, y'all. Y'all go see us just going, we've had no bacon for 6 weeks. And no, right now we still have some, but it's not going to last long. Okay. Arizona said, we had a horrific fire, 150 houses lost or damaged. I was one subdivision away. I prayed so much the house was not burnt.
Wow.
She's in Canada too. Canada's having a lot of fires.
A lot of fires.
My crooked little homestead is, she said she was about 40 minutes from a bunch of fires. And so Canada is having a lot.
Let's see here. I'm steady looking.
My crooked little homestead said it would be nice to have you and Miss Wanda on Freesteading on Thursday nights. We hadn't had time to even do any social media. I'm doing good to get our our videos
we do
up.
Good just to get that done.
I'm struggling. Danny and I have a lot going on and a lot coming up, and I ain't trying to make excuses. We just got a lot to do.
And we got a lot coming up to do.
For months.
How long have you two been together? You seem perfect for each other.
10 minutes.
How long have we been together? Not 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
10 years.
We met in April 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So it just turned 10 years.
Just turned 10 years.
We'll be married 10 years in July. You want me to guess the date?
You can guess on the date if you can get it right.
Danny always knows the 19th.
It's the 19th.
I have to stop and think.
What's the least amount of sun you'd feel comfortable growing sweet potatoes in? I would say 6 hours would be the least amount of sun I would be comfortable to grow a sweet potato in.
All right. The Appalachian Farm Hand Channel says, I'm restoring my great-grandfather's 100-acre property in the Appalachian Mountains of Virginia. I have a creek moving through the property that's eating away at the banks. You have any idea how to slow this erosion?
Oh, that is a tough one.
Yeah, because we have problems with erosion here.
The only thing that can slow down erosion is things like rocks and boulders. I tell you what, go look up online Victor Schauberger in Germany. Victor Schauberger helped restore a lot of rivers and creeks and stuff like that over there that was eroding because he understood the dynamics of water. So he also was one of the person who writes a lot about electroculture. So look up Victor Schauberger, and I think you'll find your answer there probably.
All right. Let's see. Jacqueline said, what kind of liquid nitrogen or strength do I need for yellowing strawberries?
If you're going to, the liquid nitrogen would probably be, I mean, Miracle Grow is a good liquid nitrogen. I don't know of any other that I would put on strawberries. And then I wouldn't put the liquid Miracle Grow right on top of my berries. I would put it right around the base of the plants instead of on the berries.
Which is hard with strawberries.
Which is hard unless you have a way to pour it out like a little small container around them. My neighbor has a rat infestation. What can I do to take care of the problem? He is elderly. We use a product called Ramic.
R-A-M-I-K?
Yeah, R-A-M-I-K. Not the Walmart type now.
Walmart don't
work. Walmart don't work. Get the light cream color one.
Walmart's is kind of a green.
Yeah, Walmart's is a green. Don't get the green. Get the cream color one. Usually comes from your feed stores or something like that. It's a rat poison. It has got rid of them here by the piles. I mean, we hardly ever have a rat anymore because
the problem is if he's got things laying around that's been laying around for years.
Yeah.
Those need to be picked up, moved, because that's what we found at the property that we just bought. Is there were piles of stuff laying everywhere. You go to move something, and there were rats.
Yeah, there would be a rat.
So you have to.
You got to get rid of that stuff.
Get rid of a problem lots of times in order to get it under control.
Mark says, I'm a first-time listener. How do you protect your crops during hurricane season? We don't. I mean,
you just learn
to live with it. Whatever happens after a hurricane, you just try to make the best of it, you know.
Do you have any problems with fire ants in your worm bed?
No, not in my worm bins. Mine are up off the ground. I don't have any problems with them.
What vet? Oh, we done answered that.
April's asked that like a half a dozen times, and I've answered it already. I'm not going to keep answering it.
Yeah. Let's see where we're at now.
Be careful sprinkling alfalfa pellets, Mr. Roger, because alfalfa now is Roundup ready, a lot of it, and it has Roundup's been sprayed on it, which will cause a herbicide to be into your soil, which will kill your plants.
The cucumbers that we planted over at Pecan Grove, they're from Survival Garden Seed, BEIT Alpha.
Beet Alpha.
These are a good little cucumber. They kind of crispy and smooth on the outside. I don't know. They're just a really good. Some people had asked about what kind, so that's the kind.
Yeah, Eagle Lover's right. Now, rat poison will kill any animal that eats the dead rat. We don't care because we don't have any animals in our place that belongs to us, so it don't really matter to us. I mean, we put the poison out.
Yeah.
We don't have any there or here that we worry about.
No, not running around.
Not running around. It's our own. Now, if somebody else's comes on our property, that ain't nothing to do with us. That's somebody else's property. They need to keep their animals home. But as far as us, we don't have anything to be concerned about. Now, if you got chickens, make sure chickens don't get around it because chickens will eat it just like anything else.
We've had some army worms this year, but not what we had late last year.
We had some in the Danny corn in the beginning.
To start with, yeah.
And we went through and kind of mashed them in the stalks, you know, and stuff like that.
And we found some, in 2 or 3 crops, but not a heavy amount of them yet. So I think the cool nights helped us get past that. Holly said she planted survival garden seeds. Yes, I've had good luck with all the survival garden seeds that I planted. And there was another one, I can't remember the name of the other company, So Right Seeds. Both of them have been good companies if y'all looking for something to buy, and they're heirlooms. The round zucchini, I think I planted from So Right, but Survival Garden Seeds also has the round zucchini, so you can find them at either place, and so check out both of those. I got t-shirts from Survival Garden Seeds. I've been wearing them this week. I don't know if I had a picture.
Renee says, please, what rabbit urine collection system do you use? our rabbit cages have we have a video somewhere about the rabbit cage system I built.
It's called Wabitat.
Yeah, we look under Deep South Homestead Wabitat, WABBITAT, I guess. And you'll see our urine collection systems for our rabbits there. Because I can't explain it on here, it wouldn't make any sense.
All right, let me see if I can get this. All right, this is the Survival Garden Seeds shirts that they've got going on. All right, one of them says, grow, eat, and survive. And the other one says, a garden today keeps the apocalypse at bay. So they have new shirts out.
What do you think about cottonseed meal as fertilizer, Suzette says. No, I would not put anything that has been attached to cotton on my plants at all, or in my garden. Cotton has been sprayed with so many herbicides and chemicals and stuff like that. I would not use cottonseed meal. No. That is a definite no.
Can I show that and nobody knows that that's what
What?
It's one picture in the middle of a live stream.
Hold on. Can you expand it? Yeah. I'm looking right there.
I know, I'm trying. All right. Y'all don't know where this picture come from. Just saying.
This is a
high up shot.
Yeah, that's a way up in
Danny corn.
That's a way up in the air shot of my Danny corn.
Y'all don't know where that shot came from, right? Just in case. That was almost 2 weeks ago, and that corn has tousled since then. But that's what it looks like from the air. Isn't that awesome? I just wish I could show all kinds of pictures. That I just screenshot that one or clipped it out of a video.
Yeah. Let's see.
Gossmania is putting up the Wabitat, so you can go to it. Just click that link that she put up.
There you go. Let's see here.
We need a solution to a bad ant problem. We've tried everything.
Everything.
We just live with them.
We just live with the ants. Daryl says, I have a hornet nest right beside my tomatoes, not sure how to get rid of them, not wanting to use chemicals that will leach into my soil by the food. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do and then just, move forward, because I'm going to tell you.
Double A's laughing. He said, great job. Yeah, that was not the bucket shot, y'all.
No, that wasn't the bucket shot.
Double A has the high up things too, so he knows. But he knew what I was doing.
Miguel says, horse manure with a question. I would not use any manure that I was not 100%. I would test any manure. I don't care if it's chicken manure, because chickens eat.
We've got to get our test going.
Yes, we
ain't had time all week to do that.
We got a test that we've been wanting to run, but we're way behind.
Do you use azomite in your garden?
No, I do not use any azomite in my garden. Matter of fact, we don't even have anywhere around here to buy it.
Yeah, that wasn't taken by me. My son did that, and I just took it out of the video. Just saying. I live in Jersey. We all grow corn, but the price keeps going up.
I expect a lot of things are going to go up a lot more.
So how do we choose what we need? I got to ask some more questions.
Yeah.
Just plain.
What can you add to my tomatoes for calcium deficiency? Calcium nitrate, Lori. You can get it off Amazon. A lot of feed stores carry it. Walmart carries it a lot of times. It's called calcium nitrate. It works great. Yeah.
Ants that we have here are imported fire ants. They will bite the fool out of you, and they're under our ground. I do believe between us and China, there's a network.
Yeah.
Because I put water in a hole one day, just took the hose and put it in the hole, and water never came up out of the ground. And I stood there for 10 minutes putting water in that hole at a high speed. And no ants came to the surface, and no water came to the surface. So I know there's a network, And we've tried boiling water, we've tried grits,
we tried everything.
We've tried every imaginable. Nothing kills fire ants except gasoline. Just saying. What do you do with a rooster that's trying to kill you?
He goes in a pot.
It is meat for the week.
It is meat for the week. Chicken and dumplings, or whatever you want to call it. Rooster.
Chicken and rice.
Chicken and rice, rooster and rice. Just make sure when you kill him to let him rest for 24 to 36 hours before you put him in a freezer.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Where are we at here?
What about the vinegar and eggshell calcium liquid?
Don't ever put vinegar in your garden. Vinegar is made to kill stuff, not fertilize stuff with. So it's not, just don't do it. It's never good. Danny, at what age would you butcher a Brangus steer? I'm ready for him to go to the freezer. Well, Natasha, it just depends on how well he's been fed. We try to go 6 months minimum. 6 months to a year is where we try to stay at.
Danny corn won't be available till September, October, and that's if
we don't have any problems.
If we don't have any problems, y'all. We're not even counting our corn before it.
Yeah.
You know, we're just loving seeing it. It's beautiful. It looks great. A storm could come through here tomorrow, wipe it all out. The coons could hit it. Possums. We've got fox. The lady that came from the county, from the master gardeners, her husband saw a red fox, right?
Yep, he saw a red fox.
On the back of our property. And then one of our neighbors over there saw a gray fox. So we know we've got a couple of fox over there. Foxes. What is plural? Foxes. We got a couple of them. Has anyone had success with killing weeds with a propane torch?
No, we can't. We don't use any type of fire or propane. It's hot enough here. We don't want to add any more heat to the ground.
Is there still time to replant corn?
Yeah, there's still time to replant corn. Just understand you're going to have some, now not sweet corn. Field corn, not sweet corn.
Mark wants to know how you test your manure. Is there a device, or do you send it off to a lab?
No, neither one. Get you a container and put it in and plant you a couple of bean seeds in it. If those beans come up and do good, you don't have any Grazon or herbicides in it, because beans are very susceptible to herbicides.
Please elaborate about resting a rooster for 24 to 36 hours at room temperature after gutting. No.
Put him in a refrigerator.
Refrigerator.
Put him in, not freezer, but refrigerator for 24 to 36 hours, so that his muscles have chance to. He goes through rigor mortis. Unless a chicken goes through rigor mortis, he'll be as tough as a rubber worm. You won't be able to take a hatchet and chop him up hardly.
Yeah, you can't hardly cook them the first 12
You can't put him in a crock pot and make him get tender. Nothing. You've got to let him rest for 24 to 36 hours. I prefer 36.
Yeah.
In the refrigerator. Yes. Gut him, clean him, put him in the refrigerator.
Yeah. All right, how old is too old for a Dexter bull to have on the homestead for breeding? What do you recommend?
Ours is 6 years old. I've heard they can go up to 11 years. I wouldn't get one that old. I wouldn't get one over, say, 7 or 8 years old and plan on keeping him very long. But ours is 6, and he's doing fine. He don't miss a lick.
Why does my potatoes have flowers?
All potatoes have flowers at some point or other. It's not anything unnatural. Just that's a good sign.
A group of foxes is called a skulk.
Skulk.
So they said foxes with an ES.
Yeah.
Okay. What is the best fertilizer for bush beans?
Bush green beans would be 8-24-24 would be the best, because it's high phosphorus, high potassium, phosphate. You don't want anything in very high nitrogen for beans.
Okay, so Beverly Michael said it right. This was what I was going to say a while ago. I used a propane torch on my long driveway. All it did was bits like weeds seeds, and they came back so fast. Anytime you burn something, it's like weeds and grass and stuff, it adds fuel to it. Literally, it fertilizes it, and it all comes back up. Really, that's why people burnt stuff years ago. It put the ash back in the soil. So, yeah, you're going to have stuff coming up pretty good.
And all weeds aren't bad. Let me say that. Some weeds are beneficial to your garden, so you just have to be careful. I mean, there's no such thing as a weed-free garden. When you have, I mean, you can have a weed-free garden. I mean, most of our gardens are weed-free, but it's because
the way he plows.
It's the way I take care of them. It's not. It's not anything else. Now, once they get beyond a certain point, I let the weeds grow. I don't worry about them because if you pull them up, you're gonna do more damage to your plant than you will.
And Pecan Grove, we have a different soil there. Here, it's sandy, and I can just yank weeds. Over there, you go to pull a weed, it ain't coming up.
Right.
It's very different. So, will cutting sweet potato vines stop production of the tubers?
Yes, it knocks them way back if you cut the vines off.
Where is a good source for bay laurels?
I do not know the answer to that one.
I don't know if that's what we have over there or not. I'm still debating. We have a huge tree. Actually, we have a couple of them over there that might be a bay laurel, but I'm not 100% sure. How long can I keep sliced cucumbers and vinegar in the refrigerator?
Well, she's got the refrigerator pickles that last.
I've kept them up to a year.
Yeah.
I just did some refrigerator relish and some refrigerator pickles. Then I did some sweet relish and canned it. I did some bread and butter, and what else have I done? I've been using cucumbers like crazy, making all kinds of stuff.
Okay, let's see here. Let me get back down to where we're at right here. Since beans do not need nitrogen, should I not do electroculture on them? No, electroculture is perfectly fine. It has nothing to do with getting too much nitrogen in the soil. Yeah. Electroculture is about stimulating the microbes and the nutrients that's in the soil so that the plants can take it up better. So I highly encourage it.
Yeah.
How do I keep cats from using my garden beds as a litter box?
Get rid of the cats.
Get rid of the cats is all I can tell you. I mean,
if they ain't gonna stop.
They won't stop
unless you can put some type of fencing around it or something, and that usually costs money and is not very beneficial. We just don't do cats. We're not cat people, so y'all don't hate us.
Danny, you are spot on with the meat. Also work to get the temp of the meat down to 32 to 40 degrees as quick as possible. The hang time should still be at least 24 hours. That is correct, 100% correct.
East Texas Living said they found 16 mineral tubs and bought them for $5 each.
Yes, I mean, that's the way to go, man. I'm telling y'all, containers is going to be the way to go in the future.
Yeah, Miss Lippy, her husband, Mr. Buddy, found some for, I think, $5 a piece, and he bought every one he could find and made a deal with them to go back and get more.
Yeah. Rain now in Perkinston. Hope y'all get some. Well, it's getting dark outside, but
it's getting
close to dark. So I mean, I can't say that it's going to be rain. We hadn't got any rain yet.
Yeah. But now our internet will flip back and forth. So if we fade out, it might be because we have no internet. So
yeah. If something happens, y'all know that this rain shower that they're talking about there, our good friends that live down here at Perk, soil to soul is about 15 miles from us, and they're getting rain, so hopefully we'll get some.
All right, Danny, is it same for butchering veal to wait 24 to 36 hours and then put in the freezer? Veal, any type of meat.
Anytime. Now, our last veal that we butchered, we let it hang for 7 days before we actually cut it up in a freezer. Or a cooler, let me say that, in a cooler at 34 degrees, we let it hang for 7 days. So the longer you let it hang, the more tender it becomes. Does it hurt green bean production if there are too many vines growing up one pole? Sheila, what you'll have is you have no airflow. And when you have no airflow, and if it's too thick, the bees don't get in to pollinate, and then you have disease set in. There is a drawback to it.
Yeah.
Heidi's asking, what is a mineral tub? A mineral tub is like where cattle farmers feed their cows minerals out of these black tubs. And usually if you speak with cattle farmers, they have all these tubs left over. They sell them for $5 a piece easy. Pamela's using Rubbermaid containers, which is great as long as you got a few holes drilled about 4 inches up from the Bible.
Kansas from the Bible.
The bottom. I'm sitting here reading another one.
I figured you were.
I was reading another one.
Kansas Terry said that they get the pots from a nursery. If you know any landscapers.
Yeah.
Because once they plant a tree, they just pitch those pots usually. Nobody wants them again.
Right.
That's where we got our first start, was from a guy that worked putting plants in the ground from nurseries. Can you recommend a book or video on making your own copper electro devices? I don't know if there's any good ones.
I don't know if there's anything out there. I mean, Mr.
Mickey might know.
Mr. Mickey might know that answer to that one. And with that one, I mean, how many of you all? How
many have tried it or are interested in trying it?
How many of you have made your own Electroculture rods? And how many of you
have bought them
from Mr. Mickey, or is interested in having some and you just can't have them? I mean, I'm looking for different ways to ask it.
How can I get my watermelon sweet? That's for a retired gardener. If you're gardening, you're not retired. I'm just saying.
Well, how can I get my watermelons sweet? Sweet watermelons really depends on the variety. Yeah. Don't put too much nitrogen to them, because if you do, you'll end up with a stomach ache when you eat them.
A lot of people put soda.
A lot of people used to put soda to them,
and it would make your stomach hurt.
Yeah, nitrate of soda, is that how they say it?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
They're having problems finding real copper.
One there says, I made mine very easy. I can't find real copper. Lacey, send me some information. Lacey, give me your information, and I will help you out with that one.
DeepSouthHomestead@gmail.com.
Yeah, send me.
Song of Joy made their own rods. Red Beard Farms made their own. Sheila said they purchased them from Hills Mills. Yes.
Why are tomatoes dropping? You went about a whole pile of them.
It ran when I moved. A lot of people made their own. Miss Bonnie made some. Bought from Mickey. Pinball made his rods.
Chris, send me some information, Chris, and I'll help you with the specs on that. Email us at DeepSouthHomestead.
Chris.
At email, how you say that? At gmail.com.
Chris White.
Yeah, Chris White. Send us an email and I'll help you out with that.
Natasha made her own and they're working. Gregory made his own. I bought some. Jose bought some from Mr. Mickey. Laura is her Electroculture's promising. Linda bought some. Lori bought some. My husband made some. And they are great. See, a lot of people are having good.
Yeah.
Risk Management made some. I ordered some, waiting for them to ship. Okay, Mr. Mickey M is pretty good at shipping out pretty fast. Thank you for the help with potatoes. I canned 25 quarts yesterday. Sandra, yes, that's all right. T-Bear says, I want to make my own rods. All right, now Mr. Mickey, I think on the last video that he did, if you're interested in making your own and you have the proper copper, not copper coated, go check out Mr. Mickey's latest video, Hills Mills Homestead.
Hills Mills Homestead.
I think he tells on there how to do it if you want to make your own.
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying they made their own.
Yeah.
Can you use 10 gauge?
The larger the wire, yes, you can use a 10 gauge wire, yes.
Okay.
I wouldn't go smaller than 12, but 10.
Risk Management says having good results.
That's good. I mean, I'm interested. I'm thankful that y'all are actually trying this and it's working out for you.
Ivana says there's a big difference in the plants closest to the copper coils. Yes. What kind of jobs were you working when you paid off the $2,000 mortgage in 7 years?
Construction. I've owned a construction. I owned my own construction company. I owned 3 companies. I was in the business for 26 years.
So, do you think the Jadam liquid calcium is good?
Yes, the Jadam liquid calcium is good. It may take a little while for it to actually work. I mean, to manifest, but it is good.
Okay. So a lot of people have made theirs. A lot of people say it seems like it's working somewhat. Thoughts on potatoes in a 10-gallon fabric bag, growing them?
Just make sure that they don't dry out too much on you. That's the biggest thought with these grow bags, is just making sure they don't dry out too much, but don't keep them too wet either. Lots of people having...
Okay, so Betty did both. She bought some from Hills Mills, and she did some of the tall things like you did at Pecan Grove. Yeah, we're just trying to test and see. Now, Danny hadn't tied up his tomatoes. I'm going to just tell y'all.
Yes, patriotic homesteader, yes. A 10-foot copper pipe planted in a bed with an antenna on top would be a good thing to do. As a matter of fact, it helps to energize a larger area of the soil.
All right, so Clem Fandango wants to know, why do you think container garden is going to be important going forward?
Because of the heating up of the Earth's core, it's actually shoving gamma rays out through the surface of the Earth, and it's forcing the microbes to the surface of the soil, killing a lot of the microbes in the soil. So if you can get things up off the ground and get them in containers up on blocks or something like that, where you can manage them a lot better and fertilize smaller pots and take care of the pH and individually take care of your plants, that way you're not dealing with this radiation coming up from the soil through the gamma rays.
Okay, now Cul-de-sac wants to know, I'm trying to understand. I have lots of galvanized metal beds. You made a comment about metal cages but not the beds. Do I put copper in galvanized beds or not?
Okay, first of all, you have to understand galvanized. Galvanized is zinc. Zinc is what galvanized is. Zinc is a very conductive material. It's very beneficial to the soil. It kills bacteria in the soil and stuff like that. So your beds in galvanized will do good in the soil like that, because it has a natural bacteria killing of bad bacteria, not good bacteria. And yes, the copper coils in those beds would be fantastic, because it'd be like a double whammy on everything.
Is the taller the wire, the better?
Yes, the taller the wire, the better, and larger area that you can work out to take care of. Now, the coils that Mr. Mickey sells takes care of about a 3-foot radius around them, but the taller the antenna, the larger the radius.
I'm going to grow sweet potatoes in large buckets. What is the soil you recommend for this?
I don't recommend any particular soil. We use Schultz potting soil because it is about a 9-month time release fertilizer in it, mixed with half of our own soil that we make here at Deep South Homestead. We mix it half and half. That way we get a good balance of earthworms, good loose soil with time release fertilizer in it and stuff like that. I mean, that's what we do.
All right, Ivana said that she took a small copper pipe and laid it beside the sprouts of cucumbers, and the ones closest were the bigger ones than the ones that were further away.
Yes. Should we sugar our plants? If so, which ones? Thank you. It's not necessarily that you sugar your plants. You need to put something in your soil to boost the microbes. I would just hold me a little furrow or something down beside my plants, and I'd just go down through there just sprinkling some sugar down in the ground and cover it up, and then wet the soil. Or you can use molasses. Make you like a molasses tea to pour through your garden watering can and stuff like that to boost the microbes.
All right, what do I do for rust on my apple trees?
First of all, make sure you don't have any cedar trees anywhere close to it. If you do, you got to get rid of the cedar trees first, because it don't matter what you do to that apple tree. If you've got cedar trees right there around it, you're going to continually have a rust problem.
All right, if they don't have cedar trees.
There's a copper fungicide that you can spray, I believe, for rust, but that's up to you. I think
Cost Tools carries it. All right, so people are putting up their prayer request. One of our moderators, Quake Lake, Sheila, her father passed away last night, and then another moderator, Miss Allison, her son-in-law's father passed away, or her daughter-in-law's father passed away. I done forgot how Miss Lippy said it, but one of them. So Miss Allison's gone to help them. And so we're out 2 moderators tonight. And did we have anybody else on that list? I don't remember. I think that's all I had.
That's all you had.
I think that's all I had down. All right. What do you do for a dying pear tree?
Well, I don't know what you can do for it, because it sounds like it's got fire blight. And if it's got fire blight, then there's nothing you can do for it.
Yeah. Will volunteer sweet potatoes produce, or do I have to use slips?
You still have to pull them off, even though they're volunteer. You still have to pull them off and replant them, because they're growing off of an actual potato, and they will not make much potato.
What do I fertilize fall garlic with?
Nitrogen, liquid nitrogen.
Should electroculture work in the high tunnel in the winter?
Yes. Yes, Mr. John. We use it in ours every month of the year, and we have been... The strawberries in the high tunnel is where we've seen our greatest success with it.
That is thunder.
Oh, it is thundering.
Y'all, if we go away,
yes,
y'all keep praying.
Praise the Lord.
We need some rain. Yeah, that was thunder. Miss Lippy, health issues. We want to pray for her.
Raw Food Writer says, thoughts on sickness going around that causes vertigo. There's a lot of issues going around causing vertigo. This because of the geomagnetic fields in the earth. On specific days, it's higher than it is on other days, and it will cause vertigo. So I'm not sure if that's what you're talking about, but there's people experiencing that right now. I talked to a gentleman the other day about this. He's having it. I've had it occasionally, and it's nothing more than geomagnetic fields around the earth that's messing with our heads.
What is something you have not grown yet but would want to grow in the future?
I don't grow anything that I don't know about right now, because food is fixing to become...
We pretty much tried everything in the last few years, so we were talking about that today. If it hasn't worked, it's not worth continuing with. So we've pretty much figured out what we do like and what we don't like, and how difficult... It's according to how difficult stuff is. So,
yeah, we're at a point now where it's all about food production.
Yeah, and if it doesn't produce very much, it's not worth continuing with, and putting in effort when we can put it somewhere else.
Yeah. But anyway, guys, get your prayer request up, because of this thunder and starting, our internet may go out instantly, and if it does, we don't want to miss.
It was loud thunder.
It was a loud pop of thunder, yeah.
I do have a video on canning pickle relish. You will just have to type in pickle relish, Deep South Homestead, pickle relish, Crazy Daze, DAZES. It's on one or the other, or both. I've done so many canning videos and cooking videos till I'm just tired of doing both. And so I haven't done any canning or cooking videos. I just kind of quit.
Yeah.
I got more to do right now.
We got too much to do right now.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, the rain, I hear the thunder it just keeps getting worse and worse, so we could easily be knocked off the air here, so we're going to go ahead and pray. Father, we thank you for the blessed day you've given us. We thank you for the great night tonight with the live stream. It's went well, and Father, I pray that we've been able to be a blessing to others, and because people are always a blessing to us, whether they know it or not. People are tremendous blessings to me and Wanda. And it blesses our heart to be able to be a blessing back to them. And Lord, we just want to take time to thank you for, if this rain comes in here, I want to praise you and thank you for it ahead of time, Father. Ask that you'll use it to water our crops here with, and anybody who's needing rain. Lord, it looks like a lot of people, because I hear a lot of people talking about how dry it is. And if they can have some rain, grant them some rain also, Lord, without any damage. And Lord, I'm praying too for us that we don't have any damaging weather out of it, but just some good, steady rain. And Father, go with us throughout the night and help us to stay healthy and strong, Father, for these upcoming events that's going to be happening in the near future. Lord, we all need good health and good strength. And Lord, there's many people on here who's put up a lot of prayer requests for health issues. A lot of people's lost loved ones, and when you lose loved ones, it's never easy to lose anyone, Father, because it's not a natural thing. And we pray that they can find some kind of peace and comfort, and knowing that they'll get to visit with them again one day if they know the Lord now. So Father, do forgive us of our sins and help us to have a great night's rest so that we might be able to rise up tomorrow to do thy will. We ask these things in thy name. Amen. Okay. Now.
All right.
Maybe we're going to get some rain. Let's hope.
Let's pray.
All right.
All right, you got a tip.
Oh, everybody, tip.
I guess we kind of lost them. I don't know. It ain't moved.
It's moving.
It's moving now, but usually they're saying amen, amen. There we go.
Comes.
See, we're delayed.
We got a delay because of all this weather. There it goes.
Okay, now then, I know y'all still with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a huge thunderstorm.
I seen the lightning pop just in.
Okay, so hurry up with the tip. Yeah, y'all, he's got to tip real fast.
Yeah, we got to tip real fast. Okay, the tip for tonight.
Fast.
Start learning to eat very plain. When I say that, all the fine delicacies of life, you're going to have to start trying to weed them out of your life, because they're talking about some things coming in the near future that would say that we're going to be eating plain, like with just salt and pepper, and that's going to be it. If you're not stocked up on
Miss Lippy's
Bayou blends and stuff like that, then you need to stock up. If you plan on eating with any kind of lots of seasonings in the future, you need to stock up on some stuff like that. And you're not going to be able to, like, this thing of like getting strawberries in the winter and bananas in the winter and all that kind of stuff. If it's not natural to be grown during that season,
in your spot. If you live in Indiana and you want a banana in the middle of the winter,
it may be getting tough.
If you ain't growing them, you ain't going to be eating them. So, or either you're going to pay a high dollar.
So start making your palate toward plain food, because in the future, if we go into this rationing like they're talking about in the next lockdown, because they are talking about now the next lockdown being climate based, it's going to be food rationings, and the food rationing is going